stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am a lucky one. I am a lucky one. You are my favorite song. I am a lucky one. 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 I am a lucky one.
A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. I'm your host this morning, Mary Hangeior, and I'm here with
Clement Sampson. Good morning to you, Mary.
Good morning. And you know, the Speed Lane is where we talk about life issues, just random issues affecting us all, and then also give you the opportunity to call in and share your own opinions. And today we are talking about starting over in life. And the question is it ever too late to start over in life? Now, you too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868, and tell us, is it ever too late to start over in life? Okay, so Clement, let's start with you. What do you have to say? Is it ever too late to start over in life?
No, it's never too late to start over in life. Okay. Now you see, it's easier said than done, actually. Yes, that's why I had to hesitate when I was thinking of my answer. But eventually, it is never too late, okay, to start over in life. That's what I believe. Okay. Because, well, there are plenty of people in life who have shown us that example. So we now know that it's possible. Okay. Yes. Even though it will always be, I don't believe there's anybody who will have it easy, okay, to make that decision of starting over. Yes, I don't believe it will certainly be a very hard decision to make, but it's a very possible one, even so.
Okay, if you have just joined in, you're not late. It's the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about starting over in life. And the question is it ever too late to start over in life? You too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090 3648 5868. That is 090 3648 5868. Call in and tell us if you think it's ever too late to start over in life. All right, so Clement, you said it's never too late to start over in life, right? So it's more like, if you look at our society today, they tend to kind of place certain people, there's even older people that will be trying to strive for something, and you hear comments like, even you at your age, you want to do this one, what were you doing since? I don't know, like, you see this judgment from society. So another question is, like, is there a certain age limit to when someone can just start over in life? Or maybe if they get to should I say 30, I don't know what age, but like a certain age, and it's more like just give up, there's nothing you can do. Is there any age like that, or that's just one of those sad judgments that society just passes to people?
Now, ideally there shouldn't be any age limit to starting over, right? Taking the decision of started redirecting your life, okay, and restarting it all over again, ideally. Okay, but if you check the reality, society has it has an unstipulated, undeclared expectation of when one ought to have achieved certain things. Okay, if you are in your 20s, in our own Nigerian society here, no problems, you could still be in university. Yes, you could still be pursuing your first degree. But by the time you've clocked your 30s, right, you ought to have been done with all of that. If you're still in the field of academics, then you should be going for your master's at that point, or your PhD, any of these ones. But even in your 30s, you expected to have already started working or owning a business. Okay, and in that same age bracket as well, so you expected to have started your family. Okay, that's why you see a lot of times when somebody is over, whether a lady or a man, is over 30 and is still unmarried, doesn't have a family of his own yet, he begins to be asked some of these kind of questions like, what are you waiting for? What, like, or overhear questions being asked of him like, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this lady? And then people start drawing to conclusions on possible reasons why even after 30 he or she is still unmarried. Okay, so, and then also when you progress at 40, you should still be working. 50s, but then at 60, late 50s and early 60s, you're expected to have started retiring from either your business or from work. Do you understand? So it's not really an established roadmap, right? Declared, like publicly declared by society, but it is unspoken. It is just expected.
Yes,
right?
Like everyone just has that in mind that when you reach this certain age, you either have something you've accomplished, or a certain, all those views that society just have. But like, doesn't that have make should I say youths or even adults to be under too much pressure? And if you look at it properly, it even makes some people to just give up, because at certain age they just believe, okay, now, like you mentioned about ladies who will say, okay, I'm supposed to be to get married by this time. It's more like they just give up. This is the time for me to just find something else. You see people like that, they actually travel from their places just to not be around. Now, ladies who don't get married is more like, should I say, something for mockery. Everyone just looks down on them, a whole lot of that. So you find that people like that already give up, and then some people who try certain businesses, okay, when I start this business, it doesn't work. I start this one, it doesn't work, and there's too much pressure. By this age, I'm supposed to have accomplished this, I'm supposed to have this, and all of that. How do you think this pressure from this unspoken standard that society have set affect young people, or even older people who have been striving, but maybe for one reason or the other they have not yet made it? How do you think this pressure affects them?
Now, this pressure affects negatively for the most part. Okay, but then it also it has its own positive side, a positive way that it influences people to greatness. Now, when you're growing up and you are aware of these expectations, these undeclared expectations by society, or should I declared but not stipulated? Okay, it's not really stipulated there. When you're growing up and you are aware of all of these expectations, right, pushes you to move accordingly, to move according to time. Okay, it inspires you to move according to time. Where the problem lies is when because not everybody will have it the same way. Some will succeed in life quicker than some. Okay, some will achieve that success by negative means, some will achieve it by positive means. Okay, now where the problem lies is when you're trying to follow life's course and it's not working out for you, and society is not going to consider you and be like, well, things probably happened for this person that made him slower to achieve what we expected him to achieve, right? It wouldn't. So now it comes down to the individual now, who would rather not allow himself to pay attention to what society is what society is saying against them. But for the most part, these kind of expectations by society gives negative pressure. Yes, especially for people who are unable to reach a certain, actualize a certain goal or a set of goals at the time that society expects them to. Okay, but then some people would take it as something to motivate themselves, and they actually succeed. But then some people still do take it as something to motivate themselves, that this is what is expected of me. But then they still may not get it. But then allowing themselves to feel like total failures becomes the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, they need to understand that, well, it doesn't have to be like that. You can still always try.
Okay. All right. You're still tuned into the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about starting over in life. Now the question is it ever too late to start over in life? You too can call in to be part of this conversation. If you reach out to us on 090 3648 5868, that is 090 3648 5868. Is it ever too late to start over in life? Okay, so Clement, you spoke about you might fail a few times and on why you're trying to make it and all of that. But is that always a bad thing though? Because you'd hear some people say experience is the best teacher. When you experience something, okay, you learn from your mistakes, you know that, okay, you're going to apply it when you want to start again and all of that. So do you really agree with that statement of experience being the best teacher, or is it just something people use to just cover their whole, should I say, shame or not feel bad for failing and all of that?
No. See, the fear of failure itself is a motivator, right? The fear of failure itself is a motivator. But then, even you're going through life, you will experience failures, you will experience setbacks. Okay, it's woven in the fabric of human existence. Nobody can escape failure. So I said the fear of failure itself is a big motivator. But then that wouldn't keep failure from coming your way. So when it does, you should not ever allow yourself to feel like okay, it has happened, so let me just lie at its mercy. At its mercy.
Just give up.
Yes. Now, when you experience failure, when failure confronts you, you meet it head on, right? And then the best thing for you at that point to do is to learn from the failure. So yeah, that thing about experience being the best teacher, that thing is solid. Yes, it is solid, but it doesn't work for everybody. Yes, let's be honest. It doesn't work for every. Yeah.
Okay, so people will experience and still not be able to make it. That's true.
Yes, it doesn't work for everybody, but for the smarter ones, it does work. It works actually. Okay, so if you experience failure, it should be rather something to build on. You set it as a step for you to move on to the next big thing. All of what I'm saying here right now, it is easier said, right? But when you experience it, wow, it requires a whole lot of motivation. Yes, it requires a lot of motivation from within. That's talking about your own self. Okay, and then from without, from people who are not you, but they are close to you, they surround you. Okay, so a failure in itself can be a teacher for you. You look at it, you study it when it happens to you, and you learn so that when it comes again, you can quickly recognize it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So speaking about yourself, like you mentioned, like except you experience something yourself and all of that. For you personally, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like, okay, I've tried this too many times and now I am no longer, should I say, in that age setting where I can still continue going for this thing and I just have to stop now and then go for another thing? Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Something close to that I can think of right now was when I was still a jambite, right? So I was still writing UTME.
Okay.
Then I was still a teenager. But even so, I still felt like age wasn't on my side. Okay. So I wrote my first jam at age 19. Yes, at age 19. Now, at that stage of life, I still felt like I was running out of time, because when I checked myself then, I had classmates who wrote their first jam at 17, who were just wrapping up SSCE, and they had already put in for jam. And as of when I was writing mine, they had already been in university, heading to like 200 level. And I was still,
yes, that kind of pressure.
yes, I was still. So that was me playing along with society's expectations, that in your 20s you already ought to have been in a higher institution. Even in your late teens, you already should have enrolled, right? So when I wrote the first jam, I beat the score. Like I achieved high in my jam.
Okay.
But then I made this mistake. As of then, I didn't realize that universities were really jealous about you making them second choice. I didn't know that. So, and then I applied this university, not necessary for me to mention their names.
Yes, and they will say you should go and change. You should go and change the whole thing and make them your first choice. Like,
of which me, I didn't even do that. I did not even do that. I put a certain federal university as the first choice. Put a certain state university as my second choice, and eventually when I went and I wrote the post UTME for the federal university, I didn't meet the cutoff for my first choice course, and the first choice course that I put in at that federal university was still my second choice course. Do you understand?
Okay.
So when I didn't meet the cutoff for the course as my first choice, certainly I couldn't get it as my second choice now.
Yes.
So my next fallback point became the state university. Okay, and the state university, that was still my first choice. My first choice course at the federal university was still my first choice course in the state university rather.
Yes.
And by the time I went for their post UTME, I beat the cutoff, right? Okay. Oh no, I'm mixing things up here. So the federal university, my first choice course, right? I didn't meet the cutoff. Okay, but the second choice, I beat the cutoff.
Okay.
Good. I exceeded the cutoff in post UTME. But then they still didn't give me my admission.
Okay.
So now my second choice university now, I went, I beat the cutoff, but the problem was I had them as my second choice. In fact, an academic staff there, while processing my documents, all of this kind of stuff, he told me outright that so I went to the other university. I felt the other university was better than their own, and then I put them as second class. He didn't say much after that. That was all he said. But he made me realize my mistake there. That was all he said. And sure enough, I didn't get it. Okay, good. Now, by the time that happened, to me, I felt I had learned a lesson. That was a failure. And that failure taught me something. So that by the time I put in for my second UTME, I made sure I concentrated everything in one place. The state university, which I put as second choice before, I made it both my first and second choice.
Okay.
I concentrated my choice course within that same school as well too.
All right.
And I eventually got the admission.
Okay.
Right? That's an example of you learning from your failure. It comes to you, but then when it hits you, you don't lie flat on your back and let it roll over you. You have to rather get up, tackle it, set it up as a step to the next level for yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, you learn from it and you move on. That's the thing. So my experience is something that, well, not many people would have learned from. That's why I said experience being the best teacher, well, it doesn't work for everybody. Yeah, some people would just give in. Once it happens, or it
the
happens.
moment to say, this one is not for me.
You understand?
And just move on.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. You're still listening to the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about starting over in life. Now, you too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868, and tell us, is it ever too late to start over in life? Is there an age where someone gets to and then it's more like, okay, just give up because there's nothing for you and you cannot actually, should I say, progress, or that doesn't fit your age and all of that? You can call in to share your opinion with us. All right, so Clement, if you, looking at yourself now, if you were to go back to your younger self with the whole jam situation, would you still feel the same way you felt back then, or is it more like now? You know, it's easier to just talk about it, but if you're in an actual situation, you know, it can be quite different. So if you were to go back to that situation that you were back then, would you still panic and feel like, okay, I'm not supposed to be writing jam at this age and all of that, you know?
No, I think I would still panic.
Okay.
Although I would if I went back to myself now, I would still be telling myself, don't be desperate. Alright, don't let desperation catch you though. But then I'd just be telling myself that. Okay, but still within me, I'd still be running helter skelter. Right, still be frantic to make sure that time doesn't leave me behind.
Yes.
Now the fact that it's possible to start over again in life, right? Doesn't mean you have to let it just be lax about everything. Doesn't mean you have to let it happen.
Okay.
You need to have done almost everything you can within the stipulated time.
Yes.
Okay. So that by the time you're starting over, I'm telling you, by the time when you're needing to start over, it doesn't mean everything failed you. The whole time you were busy trying to set things up and they were just failing, you were learning valuable lessons.
Yes.
You're learning valuable lessons. And the fact that you have learned these lessons, okay, they become key in helping you start over. I'm telling you.
Yes.
So if this is what I'm still saying, I would, even if I went back to myself and I was telling myself, don't be too desperate, deep within me I'd still be frantic, up and down. Yes.
So I think that's just part of human nature though. Like,
it's part of human nature. I wouldn't allow myself still to just feel like, don't worry now, you can start anytime. Don't just calm down. Don't rush it. You can, even in your 40s, even in your 50s, you can still start over. Now, I wouldn't still let myself become that complacent, because in the midst of you trying out things and failing, you're learning valuable lessons that will eventually help you when you're starting over. Now, if you relax and you didn't do what you ought to have tried doing over time in the lead up to the point where you had to start over,
yes,
then it means you wouldn't have enough lessons, you wouldn't have enough experiences, and by the time you get to that point where you are required to start over again, you probably would be starting over and starting wrongly. Okay, so it's best that you don't take it as something to just rely on and say you can start anytime at all. You can start. It's permissible for you to start anytime, even in your 70s. Yes, we know people who actually eventually made it in their 70s, right?
True.
But you can always keep looking at these people and say, oh, when I get to my 70s, I'm telling you, by the time those people struck it at 70 or 60, they had tried a whole lot.
So you're not supposed to relax at the same time. As much as you're saying there's no set rule for what age you're supposed to make it.
Yeah.
You're still not supposed to relax and just say, okay, there are people who made it in their 70s.
The whole time they were failing, leading up to when they eventually made it, they were learning valuable lessons that made them succeed at that 60 or 70.
And you know, people even use one shield of when it's my time, it will just happen and all of that stuff. You don't force something when it's not time yet, because it's never going to work. And then when it's my time, it will just work easily and all of that. But if you ask me, I really think for something to work, you have to be trying to make it work. Why some people might just be lucky, or they might come from backgrounds that make it easy for them. For other people, it's more like you still have to try and then continue trying for your luck to finally shine. And to be honest, not everything is going to work, like you said. Not everything is going to work. But if it doesn't work, I mean, there's a whole lot of other things to do, and there's always a substitute for every other, even if it's a business. If you start a clothes business and the clothes don't work, I mean, there's a whole lot of other things to sell. There's hairs to sell. I mean, there's provisions to sell. There's everything. So that saying of it doesn't work, or if it's my time, if you just sit down and wait, even when your time comes, it's more like you not even recognize that this is actually my time, and then you just watch it pass by.
Now, from what you just said, right, about not just telling yourself that when it's your time, it will happen, right? You make a whole lot of points there. You make a whole lot of sense there. Okay, now there was this movie I watched, right? A Mr. Bean movie, Rowan Atkinson, Johnny English. That's the title of the movie. And then in the movie, there's this, just cut everything short. There's this a fake archbishop, okay, who had a tattoo on his backside that says Jesus is coming. Look busy, right? Now that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Like, you need to be active, doing something. It is while you're active doing something and searching, that's when you can find.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's when you're busy, you're active, you're doing something, you're seeking out things. That's when for the more religious ones, they can find their blessing, right? And that's when God can bless you, right? But if you were just there with your arms folded, you're saying, when it's your time, you will know. Or when it's your time, it will get to you. Nothing can stop it. You see?
When is that your time, self? You might even feel too relaxed to grab the opportunity.
Because you wouldn't even recognize it. And, well, even if it becomes your time, the thing is, you had not groomed yourself, prepared yourself for that opportunity. So when it comes, you would, though, yes, it would be your time. Yes, it would have been meant for you. But then the thing is, you wouldn't be qualified to even take it. So that's the point of you being active, doing something, running up and down, learning valuable lessons in the process, getting experiences, studying your failures, and recognizing them when they pop out again in front of you later in life, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. If you have those joined us, this is the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about starting over in life. You too can call in to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868. And the question is it ever too late to start over in life? Is there a certain age that when you reach, you feel like it's just time to give up or not go further again, or all of that? And we have been talking about that. You can also call in to share your opinion with us. All right, so now, is there a specific mind set, Clement, that you would expect or you would tell someone else out there to have, or people that often find themselves in these situations where they're more like, okay, I'm this age now and it's high time I give up or just leave it, it's not going to work for me anyway, and all of that? Would you say it has something to do with the kind of mindset that they have? And if it does, what would you actually say to someone in that situation?
It does have a mindset for you to tell yourself that it's not going to work out for you. Yeah, there's a mindset to it, and that's the mindset of somebody who is easily defeated, and somebody who has a mindset of pessimism, okay, allowing darkness, depression to just creep into their mind. Now, somebody else whose mindset is being positive all the time, right? Now, when you're positive all the time, it means you will keep going. Yeah, you will keep going.
Okay.
You're always looking on the brighter side of things. Okay. Now, these are the kind of people who can, by themselves, motivate themselves and move ahead. But then also, it is important in terms of, I think earlier I said something about the ability for you to move forward is you being able to motivate yourself from within and have motivation from without, people surrounding you. So even as much as you can motivate yourself, you have a positive mindset. Okay, you are always optimistic, even when it seems to be going south for yourself. Even when you've crashed, you still get yourself up and you're still looking for the next best thing. Okay, even if you have that, you also still would even go very, very far if you have people around you who believe in you, people around you who can tell you, okay, that yes, you're doing the right thing, or no, you're not doing the right thing. This is what you should be doing. So you need people around you who can be motivating you. That's why it's important. That's why it's important for people to understand the kind of friends they keep around them. Even family members too can dissuade you, can influence you in a negative way.
Yes, those pressures sometimes even come from family members, your dad telling you, when I was your age, I had this, I had that, or moms with the whole marriage talk, when I was your age, I was married, I had you when I was your age, or you were 3 when I was your age, or stuff like that. A whole lot of that. So sometimes those pressure could even come from inside, even your home, where you're thinking, okay, nothing could actually come from there. For some families are actually pretty understanding, so it's more like they won't bother you because they know how things are, but not every family is that patient. So like you mentioned, truly some of those pressures will come from family members. All right, so you have been listening to the Speed Lane on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and we have been talking about starting over in life. You too can call in right now to be part of this conversation if you reach out to us on 090-3648-5868. That is 090-3648-5868, and tell us, do you think it's ever too late to start over in life? All right, so Clement, on the final note, is there a last word you would leave for people who always find themselves in that situation of whether they should just give up since everything is finished? So people even blame it on their village people. I mean, all of those work. They say, it's probably made somewhere that I should never go far. Even if I start all over, it's probably going to fail again. So from your own experiences and the mindsets that you have been able to build over time, do you have something that you would say maybe someone out there could hold on to if they're in that situation of deciding, should I just start over or should I give up at this point?
Now, there are classic examples of people who started late. Yes, who started late. But again, these people were not just folding their arms all of their lives in the lead up to them making a big break for themselves. No, they were not folding their arms and just waiting. They were active at some point. It's just that what they were active in wasn't really working out for them eventually, but they still kept on being active until they eventually struck it. Okay. Now let's talk about, I don't know if you've watched the movie Harry Potter. Now that's Harry Potter movie series. It's one of my favorites. Okay, I loved it when I was growing up. Still love it even up till today. Now the Harry Potter, that movie is let me say courtesy of a book, a storybook series like that. Now somebody wrote that book. Her name is J.K. Rowling. Now that lady, when she wrote the book Harry Potter that eventually became a movie success, well, it was right after a period when she was experiencing turmoil. Okay, her life was upside down. Okay. She was dealing with financial issues, divorce issues. Do you understand? When all of these things, they hit a person at once, not too many people can come out of it, right? But then there are these people who are able to motivate themselves, and possibly with help from friends and family as well too, the right ones, they are able to come out of it. Now, when she was dealing with all of this heavy turmoil, she channeled her energy into writing the Harry Potter series as a book, just a book. Yes. Right? But then eventually Harry Potter became something like a screenplay, got on the screen, and till today we're still loving Harry Potter.
Yes.
Right, that's
his name is still out there.
definitely. And who do we give credit for Harry Potter till today? J.K. Rowling. She kept the idea for Harry Potter came during a time when she was in turmoil, when everything was going south for her.
Okay.
Then somebody else again that is worth mentioning is Samuel L. Jackson. Now we know him. He's a popular Hollywood actor. Good. Now Samuel Jackson did not really strike it big until in his 40s. Now the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio, we knew them from Titanic. They were just very young people. The likes of Russell Crowe, these guys have been acting since the late 80s, early 90s, right? These guys, they started quite young, some of them in their teens, some in their early 20s, some in their mid 20s, right? These are they started out, they made it big during the times that society expects people to have made it big, truly. But then Samuel Jackson, well, he didn't get that much luck. Waited until he didn't wait, but he eventually found his big break in his 40s.
Okay.
So these are classic examples of people who we know, who we respect them today, okay, who we celebrate.
Okay.
Now, what this tells us is, you shouldn't allow yourself to be flattened out completely because of your experiences.
Okay.
There's this thing that says, when there's life, there's hope. That makes a whole lot of sense. It's not just one cliched expression, but then even though it's cliched, but it still has its substance. The fact that you wake up every single day, okay, well, that allows that is a sign for you to still continue. Yes, the moment you start allowing your failures to start seeping into your mind, affecting how you behave, affecting how you live your life, then that's when you're doing yourself a huge disservice. You have to look at these people, okay, who have made it eventually, some of them quite late, some of them in their 70s.
Yes.
And tell yourself that it is, I think there was a day we were talking about comparing yourself to others, and I said there's nothing really bad about comparing yourself to others. You can be positive in how you do it. So here's an instance of you comparing yourself to these people and being like, well, for example, Samuel Jackson now, who made it in his 40s on the big screen, he experienced a lot of downtimes like I am experiencing. This is you being positive in how you compare yourself with others now.
Yes.
So if he can make it, then I can make it as well too. So it all comes down to you just being active, okay, running around and looking for what will be your break. If it doesn't work out, well, don't let it. You just tell yourself that, okay, well, that wasn't meant for me. That wasn't designed for me. Let me move. Yes, let me seek out the next thing that is meant for me. You keep searching and searching and searching until you get it. Now society will be harsh on you. They wouldn't understand it. They wouldn't understand. Now a lot of people, a lot of these musicians we know of today, they do talk about their stories and they put it in their music, and they say when they were busy praying and doing the hard work in their rooms, society was criticizing them for not coming out and being open and mingling with people up and down. Do you understand? But they get celebrated once they make it big, and then society forgets about the times that they were locked up in their rooms, hustling hard, doing stuff to make the big name, right? So in the process of you running around and time seeming to slip past you, society may not be considerate with you. They'll be criticizing you, not understanding that it's not really your fault, all right, and you're in the process of making yourself successful. But it'd be like you're wasting time. That's what society will most likely be telling you: wasting time. You ought to have been these so and so time. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Now, by the time you're able to shut all of this kind of negativities from your mind, you can be able to focus.
All right, and this is where we'd have to wrap it up on the speed lane this morning. We have been talking about starting over in life, and we have been asking, is it ever too late to start over in life? And it's clear that there is no time, no particular time where you could start up something and then actually be successful with it in life. So as you go, don't forget to remember that there is no specific set age for you to start up in life and then accomplish something. Also coming up at 10 a.m. after the news is King James 90s Top 10. So stay tuned for that and more right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. This has been the Speed Lane, and I have been your host today, Mary Hangeior, together with
Clement Sampson.
And together we are saying bye.